Welcome to Kivenlahti. Kivenlahti is a little community within the city of Espoo, and it's only 17 kilometers away from Helsinki, and it actually has a metro. And Stone Bay is the meaning of Kivenlahti. So it has access to the Baltic Sea, it has a yacht harbor, it has beaches, it has forests. What else do you want?
I guess it's obvious what is missing in this kind of environment. We need a boat. And here it is, an Aquador 28, which we found at the west coast of Sweden. And we had it transported to Stockholm. We came from the east to Stockholm with the minimum equipment we could carry. And the ferry from Helsinki to Stockholm arrived on 11th of June. So we made it to the Pampas Marina where our boat was stored. So after spending a night in Pampas Marina, we leave, and the next day early in the morning, and as you can see, Stockholm is located on 14 islands, and you have to navigate through the right channel in order to make it to the Baltic Sea. We first crossed the Ulfsund going south, and then go between the small and the big island of Essinge. Lots of marinas in Stockholm, and besides also nice little cafes and restaurants. Then we turn into the Liljeholms Bay, and actually from there we can also see ahead the big bridge which is spanning the Hammarby Lock. This lock is the border between the Mälaren Lake west of Stockholm and the Baltic Sea. And going into the lock from the Mälaren, from the Stockholm center, you have to pay 320 Swedish crowns, about 30 euros, in order to pass the lock. Going the other way into the Mälaren is free of charge. So then eventually we made it, and in the distance we can see the old city of Stockholm. And so we are heading towards the Baltic Sea into the Stockholm Archipelago. We actually stop at Vaxholm for getting some fuel, and then pass Furusund and Kapellskär. Before crossing the open sea, you might as well stop a couple of miles north of Kapellskär in a little yacht harbor called Gräddö. After about 40 nautical miles from Stockholm, we then leave the sheltered archipelago, and we come to the outer marker Tjärven or Remmergrund, and we head for the Åland Sea. Only 6 miles before the Åland Islands, before Mariehamn, you pass through one of the deepest areas of the Baltic Sea. 232 meters we read on our log. So it only takes us 1 hour to come to the Åland Islands, and we decide to go to the east harbor of Mariehamn, and for that you have to pass a fixed bridge which is only 5.3 meters high. The yacht harbor is pretty big, but as you can see, and remember we have the 12th of June, it's pretty empty at this time of the year, so we enjoy the facilities, go to the sauna, and then stroll around the city and walk over to the West Harbor. Next day we wanted to go northeast using the Lemströms Canal as a shortcut, but the bridge only opens 1 week later for the summer, so we had to make many extra miles going around Lemland and passing a nice harbor, natural harbor, called Rödhamn. Some 20-22 miles from Mariehamn we pass by Diggabu, a little village which has a yacht harbor, but it's not recommended for southerly winds. Eventually we reach Säcklinge, a very easy approach and a very sheltered yacht harbor. So when you come to Säcklinge Yacht Harbor, what you find is a very natural environment, a peaceful surrounding, crystal clear water and overlooking green islands. The yacht harbor, I guess, has places for about 40 boats. It has electricity, but no water. There's a little well somewhere for watering the flowers.
Kannst du auch einfangen, den Geruch?
It's great for families. There is a little house where you find toys, books, and where you can play some games. Within walking distance, so less than a kilometer, there is a little general store which has some supplies, food, and ice cream for the kids. So next morning we leave Säcklinge, going north first in order to go around Kumlinge and then cross over to the east, entering the Turku Archipelago. We have altogether a trip of 40 nautical miles in front of us. So again we have nice weather today. It's about 20 degrees Celsius, not very strong winds, perfect for motorboating, and actually we are almost alone on the sea. So in the afternoon we reach Korpoström, guest harbor, a very sheltered place as well. So now we have 15th of June but the yacht harbor is still quite empty. The marina has all the necessary facilities, of course electricity, water, sauna, showers, everything you want, and there is also actually a very nice restaurant directly at the marina. Next day we have a long trip in front of us, like 17 nautical miles, but we have a little stopover in Högsära. Again, excellent conditions for us, nice weather, warm, a little wind. So for lunch we stopped at a little place called Högsära, and it has a guest harbor which actually was not even open, and so we just stopped for a short while and went down to a cafe which we have visited already a couple of years ago and which is famous in the area for their wonderful cakes. So in the afternoon we went further east and passed around the most southern tip of mainland Finland at the town of Aquador, very famous for yachting and boating. Late afternoon we then arrived in Sommarö, guest harbor as well. You have to make advance reservations, there is no harbor master here. Go to satamapaikka.com. There are restaurants and shops, and for the morning there's really a very nice bakery. Highly recommended. Next morning it goes further east and northeast through the very sheltered islands of southern Finland. The next stop is planned for Inko. Inko is a little town not far anymore from Helsinki and from Espoo. And here we want to get some fuel. This gas station for boats and for cars has the lowest fuel prices for boating on the southern Finland coast. Apart from the gas stations, there are cafes, restaurants, shops, and of course, a little newly renovated guest harbor. For the last part of our trip from Inko to Espoo, we have to pass around Porkala, which is the closest point from mainland Finland to Tallinn. It's around 30 nautical miles. So we are on the final approach now to Espoo, to Kivenlahti, where our yacht harbor is. This ends a 5 days trip from Stockholm to close to Helsinki to Espoo. And the only thing we need to do is to properly put the name Saiana on our boat.
Or never.
Waiting for the next wave to roll